Welcome back to this video. I was lucky enough to be able to unbox my brother's FESTOOL Domino, and I thought I'm gonna do a hands-on review and a comparison between the FESTOOL Dominos and the widely known Biscuits, or Lamellos as we call them here in Central Europe. What I think to know is that the Lamellos were actually a Swiss invention, long after the chocolate for sure, but they are great to use, and as well the Dominos, they find their place in the workshops. Make sure you're gonna watch the whole video until the end. I'm gonna tell you something which you may not have known before. Last but not least, I would like to thank my wife's grandmother. Technically, I think this is called step-grandmother, and for sure she is the only person out there who has been watching every single minute of my YouTube videos. So thank you very much. Liebe Ursula, wenn du das jetzt siehst, ich hoffe, dass auch dir dieses neue Video mit ein paar technischen Details wieder gefällt und dass du so auch wieder was dazugelernt hast. Danke fürs Zusehen und wir sehen uns bald. Alright, I think it's time. Let's jump into the video. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell, comment and share, and hopefully I see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. I got a new tool which I would like to share with you. Let's have a look what is inside. FESTOOL, the FESTOOL DF500, a domino system from FESTOOL. What do we have here? The router bits, 6mm and 8mm. This is the guide for smaller pieces, and this as well for longer linear things to assemble together. This is how it's used, and this is another guide for longitudinal things. Alright, FESTOOL package. Alright, so let's have a look what's inside. Paperwork and the manual, how the machine is built. This is the guide, cable. These are the side guides to align the machine with some boards to get perfect edges. So this is the machine for itself, and for people who know FESTOOL, this is just really solid quality. You feel it, the thing is quite heavy, and I will explain you all the details afterwards. So this is it, it's everything what is inside. You see the different possibilities to use the machine. Here the different sizes of the dominoes. Here the cutting heads, or the bits, how you call them. Alright, close this up. So I unpacked the machine, I just had a look, and I had to read a few things how it's used normally. And the first few minutes in my hand, I have to say that the build quality is just amazing. And this thing costs about 1,000 euros, and I know why. There's certainly quite a bit of a margin in there, but the build quality is amazing. Alright, what do we have? We have here the guide if you would like to work with flat boards or even with angles. You got multiple angles position which click in at different degrees. You then just fix and hold the angle as you need it. You've got up here, you've got the depth. You can choose how thick your material is, so you don't have to wobble around and adjust your thickness of the board. This is made here. I'll show you. So there's a guide which you can use to adjust the height and actually the thickness of your material, so that the domino always stays in the right position. If you have a 20 or 22 millimeter board, you just adjust and then you lock over here, tack, and then you're ready to go. Another thing which is really good is you can change the depth of the dominoes. Normally they come with 40 millimeters long. They also got the smaller, which are 30 millimeters. So in order to do that, you just change here what depth you would like to have, from 12 to 28 millimeters. Then on the other side, what is also very important to know, you've got here a switch. If you need to cut holes where the domino sits very tight together, there's absolutely no gap. You have to use this position. With this position there is slightly a little bit of gap, so the domino and also the alignment of the boards can be readjusted. And the third one, it gives even a bit more play of the dominoes. And I will show this later on. We will do some holes together and then I will show you how this works, because this actually you can only turn if the machine is running. Just one more little detail, and this is just FESTOOL-like. This is expensive stuff, but I think it is really worth the money, and the time you use the machine, it's just a good feeling to have something quality built in your hands. If ever you have got a special degree or you would like to readjust 40, 45 or 30, there is here a little thing where you actually can fine-tune your position or your angle. So this is something unique, I would say, for FESTOOL tools. It's just a love to details where they really try to make life easy for woodworker. In the same time, you've got here the depth, position, and also there is a scale where you can control where you are in your board. It's that easy. Another nice feature of FESTOOL, this is actually the base. You got guides for both sides, because normally you got different holes to cut, and then you got always two pieces, and for adjust the alignments you got these indication marks. You also got a gauge on the top, and especially you got already readjusted guiders to hold the machine in place, whatever you would like to do. There's a special separate mount, which I also can show you later. You screw this on and then you can readjust for fine little things where there is not much of gap to position the machine. So how does actually the FESTOOL Domino works? You might know the biscuit jointers, where they cut out a half moon shaped hole. And how do you actually get a hole to fit a domino in? It's actually quite simple. The machine plunges into the material, and this little router bit here, this is oscillating. So it moves from right to the left, and it actually forms a hole which looks exactly like these dominoes. So as I just said before, you can readjust the depth of your dominoes or working material, and then you just have to cut it out. Alright, how do you actually change the router bits or the cutting heads? As you know, they make the dominoes in different sizes and especially different diameters, from 10 to 4 millimeters, and for each single different dimension you need the specific cutting head. And the FESTOOL, it's quite easy. You just get up here, click here, and then you can separate the machine from the front head. The machine, so here is actually the whole bit, and as you can see, this thing will wobble around, oscillating from left to right, and at the end we get a hole like this. Then you have here the blocking system for the machine. You open this up and you can change the cutting head. As a standard, they deliver it with a 5 millimeters. I will leave this on. 5 millimeters is going to use these dominoes here. Then, if you ever have changed the cutting head, you just slide the machine back to the head. Zack. It clicks in and the thing is steady together again. Another quite quality feature I would like to mention is the cable. FESTOOL's cables are very soft, I think. And the thing is, if you buy a cheap machine in a cheap hardware store, the cable is always short. So this is an indication for, I would say, low price products. They always sell these with short cables. This FESTOOL Domino, I just measured it. It is 4 meters long. So this is quite a range. You can use the Domino FESTOOL. Yeah, I would say this is also makes the price higher, but the quality build is just great. Okay, so I would say let's do a few holes and then we see how it is working. So let's say we would like to join these small pieces of Swiss spruce. This is Rottanne, also Fichtenholz. Would like to join these pieces together. We first have to know the thickness. This is 27 millimeters. Then we have to position our head to the flat or board position. Then we have to choose the depth. There is 25 and 28 as an adjustment scale, so I will go for 28. You have also the possibility to fine-tune the thickness or the height of the material by yourself. So I just go for 28, fix this, this is closed. Then I will use these two little knobs, one from the left as a guide and one for the right as a guide. Let's see how it goes. That's my first cutting. Here we go. So that's 28 position, and we've got here 14. Okay. So the upper part of the hole is always in the middle. It's not the domino axis which is in the middle, it's the upper hole. And now we just align on the right. One small detail, that's the same with the biscuit jointer. You should know which sides are gonna be together, because otherwise the surfaces, you risk that they will not be flush. Sorry for that, that's not my best drawing with an old pencil. Alright, so I do the same thing on the other side. Here we go. We've got these two holes. So this is the result. We got these two special holes which are exactly symmetrical on both sides. We got this 5mm dominoes, and we talked before about the gap or the movement you can adjust. I was drilling on the mid position, and as you can see, the dominoes, they got a little bit of gap between. So if ever you need, for assembly reason, possibility to be able to move the pieces, you can here readjust the pieces and before gluing or screwing together. I just would like to show you the positioning alignment which I used. So that there are two standard knobs. You align the board from the left, and then you choose the position. You align the board from the right, and you get symmetrical holes. It's that easy with FESTOOL. So just for demonstration reason, I cut another couple of holes. This one was the first one with the mid position. This would be the one with no actually play, no gap, nothing. So you already see this is quite tight and strong. And then this is again the mid position, and this would be the bigger hole with a lot of play together. So just for fun reason, I would like to show you how the thing is oscillating from left to right. And this is all the magic behind the domino system. Alright, one more beautiful feature I would like to show you. I got these two guides in addition with the FESTOOL Domino, and I just would like to show you what these are for. If you would like to join two smaller pieces together in either way, you run out of possibility to have a guide. So therefore you got these jigs actually. You slide it over the front head. There are two screws you have to tighten up, and then the guide is on the back. You got here as well. You can center or decenter the board or the piece you have to work on. And again, it's a lovely thing with the FESTOOL solution. You got your marks, and then you have an alignment however you would like to have it. Position your board, and then you just cut your groove. So the second guide is this guide here. This is a guide to help you as well get in position of your different holes. So you got a left hand and the right side. You just click this on here, you tighten it up, the same thing on the other side, and then you got this positioning stop. You can readjust this, let's say to 150, and on this side with the same thing. And here we go. Then you got a solution to get different holes in the same spot for each single piece you would like to get dominoes in. So let's say I would like to have two holes always with the same distance from the edges. I readjust these stop pins. I'm gonna take the tight one, and then you just put it on. Make sure that here you're on the right position. And then the same thing from the right, readjust on here. And here you go, you got your domino holes with the same system, same distance from each side. It's quite a handy thing, easy to take off, easy to use. There is one more guide which comes with the machine. That's the third one. This is in the standard package. As we just saw before, there are these two standard pins, and if ever you have to get your dominoes closer to the edge of the workpiece, you can screw on this guide, and here with this guide you are much closer to the edge. So with this guide you have maybe 15 millimeters from the edge, so you can go much closer to somewhere which before you couldn't do. You just click in and click out these additional guides. It's quite handy if you need. You take it off, and then you're ready to do anything else. So the big question now is, what is actually the main difference or the main advantage of the dominoes and of the all-known biscuit jointers? Thing is, with the dominoes, if you would like to assemble smaller pieces which have to get a strong connection, therefore the dominoes are the better choice, because they really fit together. They give a strong connection between the two pieces, just as if you use mortise and tenons. Whereas the lamellos or biscuits, they actually they always have a bit of play. They make a half moon shaped hole in your workpiece where the lamellos can get in. I prepared this on this side. So this is actually a lamello hole, and this half moon shaped piece gets in here. You get the counterpart here, and then you can assemble these two pieces together. They are exactly flush. This is not this is not the big difference, but the difference is you got always a bit of play, and also the whole piece is much more unstable. It's a bit wobbly. You see? This can be an advantage or a disadvantage. It just depends on what you are working on. Alright, if you are working on flat surfaces, if you are working on boards, on MDF boards or high quality chip boards, then you're better off maybe using the biscuit jointers. Whereas you need to have a straight and strong connection from the first beginning on, then you're better off using the dominoes. So let's say you would like to join these two pieces together. The advantage of the domino is that you actually can use these two to assemble the pieces. Whereas if ever you have to make a hole with the dominoes, there you are much limited. You always need a bit more space. I'm just gonna show you this. We're gonna connect this with the dominoes and then try with the biscuit jointer, and you will see the difference. All right. So this is our hole. This is the tight fit, no glue. And this is the other piece, which comes like this. And you got this strong connection already. There is no wobbling or just a tiny little bit. Put some glue on it and this will hold perfectly. So let's do the same thing with the lamellos or the biscuits. I will use the size 0, otherwise the hole will be too big. It's just big enough, it shouldn't never be much bigger. So now we're gonna do the second piece. And here we go. The connection is pretty much the same, whereas the biscuits, they just need a bit more space. So, what you didn't know about the dominoes is what the actual strengths or how much kilograms they can hold together. I did a short calculation and it's pretty impressive. Let's assume we're gonna fit together 2 pieces of beech. This is spruce, it's not beech. But the dominoes, they are made out of massive beech. Alright, the surface. What is the surface? The gluing edge surface. It's on both sides. We have 19 times 16 millimeters. That's what I measured. This is twice the surface. So this surface goes in here, will be glued together with this piece, and this piece will join with these 2 surfaces here. So we have 19 times 16 is 304 times 2, because there are 2 surfaces, 608 millimeters square. The beech shear strength longitudinal, so in the long way with the grain of the fibers, it's around 15 Newton per millimeter square. I would say we will calculate with 10. There's always a bit of weaken and we always lose a bit of strength with the glue and the tight of the joint. So let's take 608 times 10. So this is a total of 6080 newtons. And what are newtons? Newtons can be translated to kilograms. 1 kilogram is equal to 9.8, which comes out that 1 Newton is 102 grams approximately. So we got back our 6000 newtons times 102 makes 620,160 grams. So this little piece, which you see here, can hold up to 620 kilograms. It's quite impressive. If we would have taken 15 Newton per millimeter square, we would end up with 900 kilograms, which this connection should and can hold together. So I would say these numbers are quite impressive, and I just wanted to let you know that these dominoes, there is a certain reason why they are used so much. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope I really could clear out a few questions about the dominoes or the biscuits. If you like this video, then please give a thumb up. Comment in the comment section if you prefer the dominoes or the biscuits. And if ever you got something else to ask me, just get in contact and I will try to reply as soon as possible. Thank you very much and see you on the next video. Der läuft noch, der läuft noch, sorry.